Hi, this is my strategic plan presentation for the town of Tonawanda Youth Parks and Recreation. This is a great organization. It does a lot for the community, but there is definitely room for improvement, as with all organizations. So the town of Tonawanda Youth Parks and Recreation has some challenges due to current market trends. These challenges are going to be budget cuts, declining revenue, increasing costs, and then also aging facilities. So my plan has 6 goals that align with the organization's vision, mission, and values. I also developed the goals from the SWOT analysis that I did earlier this year. I think that these goals can help the organization move forward as well. So goal 1, it's going to be within the first year, and this goal is to establish more effective communication with the public. So communication is going to be needed to get their message out. I think that the parks and recreation need to do a better job on publicizing their programs. Right now, there are only about 2 or 3 billboards around the town that really display what programs are going on at this point. So the objectives are number 1 is going to be redesign and update the Tonawanda Youth Parks and Recreation website. Number 2 will be utilize social media platforms to disseminate information. Number 3 will be increase number of visitors to organization's website by 20% after the first year. And then the 4th is going to be attract new residents to the area while maintaining existing residents. So what strategies will be needed for implementation? So the first strategy for implementation is going to be appoint 1 or 2 dedicated staff members to work on redesigning and overseeing the website. So the website right now is not very attractive, and it's also not very user-friendly. It needs some creativity as well. And then number 2, the second strategy is going to be use traditional forms of communication balanced with social media. With that, the organization uses emails, flyers, and brochures. So they need to step up their social media use more. So inbound marketing would help them. And then the final strategy is going to be inbound marketing, uses Facebook, Twitter, Instagram to draw in visitors. Also, customized emails and video marketing can also attract customers. So goal number 2, this is going to be within the first to the 3rd year. And this goal is going to be support conservation and preservation of town and village environmental resources. So the town of Tonawanda Parks and Recreation has a social responsibility to the community to be environmentally conscious when they plan and do their programs, because this affects quality of life. So here are the objectives for goal number 2. The first objective is to provide parks, trails, and amenities that maintain and enhance the natural features of the area. The second one is going to be create a Tonawanda Youth Parks and Recreation documented plan for sustainability. The third will be to incorporate ecologically friendly practices into services and programs. And then the final one is going to be implement landscaping and other soil conservation improvements. So the strategies for implementation of goal number 2. The first is going to be Tonawanda Youth Parks and Recreation writes its own sustainability document after meeting with the staff and getting their input. So the organization should write its own document. Right now, I believe they are using the town's version as well. The second is going to be all staff are in service on ecologically friendly actions and services. So all staff needs to read and understand the document and know what actions to incorporate. Examples are using recycle bins in stations, LED lights, educational kiosks in public areas, preserve natural habitats, and also native plants or planting them as well. And then the third strategy is going to be all future programs are going to incorporate these actions as well. So they're going to bring these actions in and then keep sustaining them as they are going throughout. So goal number 3. So this is going to be between years 3 and 5. And this goal is to improve the Riverwalk Park area with additional amenities. The Riverwalk is an existing facility along the Niagara River. It's very popular with residents. You can jog, walk, bike, and rollerblade there as well. There's picnic areas and also a band shelter for concerts, but the area needs some updates and also repairs. So here are going to be the objectives. So the first is going to be resurface the pavement areas of the trail walkway within the first year. The second is going to be install restrooms along the trail walkway by the end of the third year. And then finally, they're going to add shaded rest areas and shelters with benches and water fountains by the end of the 5th year. So to implement this goal, the town of Tonawanda Parks and Recreation needs to first start off with a town contractor that will be hired to resurface pavement areas and rebuild benches. The second is going to be hiring an outside contractor to install 2 restroom areas along the walkway. And then the third is going to be an outside contractor will add 3 to 4 shaded rest areas with shelters, benches, and water fountains. So the resurfacing should be easy, and the rest areas with shelters shouldn't be too difficult, but the restrooms could be costly, so this is a goal that can be accomplished over 3 to 5 years. So now we're on to goal number 4, which is also going to be taking place between years 3 and 5. And this goal is to expand and improve the boat launch facility and small boat harbor. Again, this facility is already existing. It is valuable because it is only town-owned waterfront on the Niagara River. So here are the objectives for this goal. The first is going to be increase the number of patrons visiting the boat launch facility and small boat harbor by 25% after the 3rd year, and then by 50% after the 5th year. The second is going to be generate increased revenue through daily and season pass fees. The third is add fishing docks and also other features to encourage interest in the waterfront recreation. And then the final one will be double the number of boat launches to increase public access to and usage of the waterfront. So these are going to be their strategies for the implementation of this. The first is going to be to increase attendance by 25% after the 3rd year, and then by 50% after the 5th year by adding more facilities. The second strategy is going to be hire a contractor to add more boat launches for a total of 6. And then the third is going to be create new outdoor recreational experiences at the park area. So this will be fishing sites, wildlife observation areas, picnic shelters, and an outdoor garden as well. So this goal is going to be 3 to 5 years. I want to double the number of boat launches to 6, which will increase visitors, usage, and also revenue. And then a contractor would be hired to do construction work for this. The surrounding park area can be expanded and it doesn't have to cost much. They can also put in a fishing dock and a wildlife observation area, picnic shelters, and a nature garden as well. All right, so now we're on to goal 5, which is going to take between 5 and 10 years. This goal is to expand the Tonawanda Rails to Trails bike path. Currently, the Rails to Trails bike path connects Tonawanda and Kenmore to the city of Buffalo and also to the city of Tonawanda. So here are the objectives for this goal. The first is going to be link the town and village to surrounding communities through expanded bike path. The second is going to be to develop trails that connect schools to the Rails to Trails bike path. And then the third and final one is going to be to publicize public health, social and recreational and economic benefits of the bike path usage. So I want them to link the bike path to Amherst and Williamsville, but also to schools in Tonawanda and Kenmore. Research has shown that connections like these have health, social, and economic benefits. Okay, so this is going to be our strategies for implementation of this goal. The first will be to extend the bike path to Amherst and Williamsville using town contractors to pave over the existing railroad tracks. The second is going to be to connect the bike path to area schools in the same way. And then the third is going to be to publicize along the trails the health, social, recreational, and economic benefits of the bike path. Organization employees will erect bulletin boards to display along the path. And then also they're going to publicize on organization websites and through social media. So this is going to be a long-range goal, 5 to 10 years to complete, because working with the town governments and schools might take time. The path follows unused railroad tracks, which would need to be paved over, and then publicizing the expansion and its benefits effectively to the public would need to be done as well. Okay, so here's our last goal, and it's the 6th goal. This will be a 10-year goal, and it is to develop a large cherry farm park area into a recreational and nature destination park. So right now the town owns this 55-acre cherry farm parkland along the banks of the Niagara River. It's a prime development opportunity for the town of Tonawanda Parks and Recreation. So here are the objectives. The first is going to be to design plans for the park area and recreational amenities that it would include. The second is going to be establish management staff, other staffing needs, and fees. And then the final one is going to be generate sustainable revenue for Tonawanda's youth parks and recreation. So here's our strategies for the implementation of this goal. The first is going to be to hire a developer with expertise in park design. The second will be Tonawanda Youth Parks and Recreation brainstorms the name of the park, the features, the themes, etc. The third is going to be the organization reassigns employees to staff the park. And then the fourth and final one is going to be revenue is generated from on-site restaurants, boat launch fees, pavilion rentals, and things like that. So this is a big job. It's going to require a lot of careful planning. Tonawanda Parks and Recreation can plan ideas for a name, the features that it will want to include, a nature theme, staffing, and also hiring needs. The park could have a restaurant, boat launches, pavilions, and an amphitheater as well. I want this to be a self-sufficient facility so that it is reliable. It's a reliable source of revenue for the Tonawanda Parks and Recreation. So to summarize my strategic plan for moving Tonawanda Youth Parks and Recreation forward, It is to address effective communication and social responsibility.